Naomi, hold on. You're running 7th, Gareth. Well done.
Hello and welcome, episode 12 of Cookies Rambles. Proper into the depths of it now, pushing on about 35 days to go to London Marathon, so really getting towards the business end of what you call marathon training and the marathon block. And like all good marathon blocks, the inevitable happens. So this week, probably as I kind of suspected, really, to be honest, picked up a bit of a cold, man flu, sniffling nose, doing Naomi's head in, sniffling every 2 seconds when I'm sat on the sofa next to her. But yeah, started with it really on Friday, played on it a little bit, to be honest, to just tell Naomi that I'd picked up her cold that she'd got, but kind of explains, sneeze. Oh dear. Kind of explains the leggy feeling in my legs and the heavy feeling in my legs last week at Thirsk, so puts that to bed as well. And then, so obviously we're coming down with something in then, but thankfully it stayed in my head and it's a head cold rather than it being on my chest, which is a good sign and good indicator. Do feel like I'm over the worst of it, but it is hindering my breathing a little bit and I'm sounding like a choo-choo train when I'm running. But other than that, that's all I'll talk about with man flu. I'll spend the first minute of video talking about it and then we'll leave it there. We'll not plan it too much. So week of training. So Monday, went out, felt really comfortable, to be honest. Monday in the morning, but went out, did 10 mile with Kai, where he did a cut at 6, I think, and I did 4 on my own. 7:30 pace, which, yeah, normal recovery run after Thirsk. And then in the evening went to see John Ackleton. So he was a massage therapist local to where we live in Barnsley. He's based at Waff. Went to see him for an hour in the pain cave, and then did 5 mile before I went into John's house for the massage. Worked primarily on my legs, which are always tight because I'm a marathon runner. Do struggle historically with lower back pain like piriformis, hamstring tendinopathy, all that sort of stuff. And sometimes I'll get a bit of Achilles tightness, but that's, you kind of learn that and you learn when it's coming on. And I do, well, prior to the last year, really, even I am trained in sports massage. Prior to the last year I didn't really go for many sports massages, but it's definitely something that I couldn't live without now. So I try and book in with John every 6 weeks for a quick rub down, to refresh the legs. When I first started going, so I went, I think it was September time, the day after, like up to that, I was aching, killing, glute tightness, and then the day after went and PB'd at Spencer's Dash. So it's definitely something I can't live without. Tuesday morning, went out, did 8 mile, did quite, again, comfortable, 7:15 pace, and then in the evening, had a session on the track. So it were a shorter session-ish this week, but it were 20 by 400s, so one of those that we used to do in the heyday up at the dam wall at Ingbertrefres. So 20 by 400s, loved the session, clocked them in around 4:55 average for the full thing. So we're splitting some in like 70 seconds, which were a bit daft, and then some in 75 seconds. But yeah, felt quite good. Did say to the lads, let's race the last one, and I finished dead last, and clocked it in a box standard 74 seconds. But yeah, some of them going through really quick, and I just haven't got that turn of speed because I'm a marathon runner. Wednesday went out in the morning, again 750s, 15 mile for Wednesday, did 8 mile in the morning, 7 mile in the evening. And then Thursday, same again, 15 mile for Thursday, again in the morning 8 mile, and then in the evening kept my run in like top end of zone 2, which is like my heart rate zone, which tops out at like 153 for zone 2, and it starts at like 136. So it's quite a big zone. It's where really I spend most of my time in my mileage when I'm training. So it's either zone 2 or zone 1 if I'm going like 750s 8-minute miles. Kept it top end of zone 2 and averaged like 640 for Thursday night's run. So felt quite strong, to be honest, and did progressively get quicker as I built through the run. So it was nice to see legs returning a little bit. And then Friday started with the cold, so legs straight away went, head went, and started sniffling instead. But it's just one of those that you can't help, and hopefully by tomorrow when I'm back at work over the weekend I'll feel 100% and better. Everyone at work's been sniffling this week as well. Now I did say I wasn't going to talk about this, didn't I? Naomi's been sniffling as well, but yeah, I'll leave it there because I'm not going to talk about it. And then weekend, so I come through to Naomi's parents Friday night, and then went to Hull Parkrun, which is always a toss-up between Hull or Suaby when we're over this way. Beverley's a grass parkrun with cow marshals and cows. Peter Pan is past Hull, and it's not as, personally, not as nice of a course. And then Umber Bridge is almost on the way home back to Barnsley, so we always choose Hull, believe it or not. Went through to Hull, got on the start line, saw Stuart Spencer, who has also been doing a little bit of YouTube, and he did 1540 summit the other week, so that's what he's been targeting in his YouTube channel. 1540 summit the other week at Hull Parkrun, and ran really well. So I saw him on the start line, and straight away I said to him, are you going for it today then, Stuart, what? And he said no, so I'm thankful for that, because I didn't want to really be pushing it today. So set off quite comfortable, got like running round, so we're first and second, but it's a run, not a race. Running round with a lad from London, and just before we started like the second lap, he goes, which way is it? So then I was like, left, right, left, right, left, right, like telling him direction, which way to travel in for the next like 4 or 5 corners. And then I just thought, no, I'll jump past him because it does get a bit twisty and turny here. So I jumped past him and tried to guide him through. He ended up finishing in 3rd in about 1650 something, I think, or it might have been just over 17. Stuart was 2nd, and then I was up front in 1630, which at Hull Parkrun, when I've done it recently, I've kind of just got, I think I got 1630 4 weeks in a row at Hull, or 4 times in a row. So yeah, it were a decent run. Did feel completely comfortable and not like I was topping out, but I don't think my legs could have gone much faster, to be honest, especially with me having my cold that I've definitely not spoke about. And then ran back to Beverley like we do after every Hull Park run, so ran through to Costa at Beverley. Naomi ran like 4.5 with me, and then, well, 4 with me, I ran 2.5 then on my own, and then I decided for the last 2 miles I'd stop my watch and just pace it and try and pace just a little bit quicker than marathon pace, and I did. So yeah, I did 2 mile at like 5:24s maybe, or something like that, so just a little bit quicker than marathon pace, but at the back end of what was a 13.5 mile morning. Not bad at all. But yeah, felt okay yesterday. And then today went out for my 20 miler, back from my 20 miler, covered in mud. Well, I'd say covered. Fell runners, cross country runners, anyone that runs on the soft stuff would say that I'm clean, to be honest. But went through to Hornsey, straight on the main road from Cattick, which there is a path for about So it's 5 mile there. There's a path for like 4 mile of it, but getting out of Naomi's village is a bit sketchy. Well, Naomi's parents' village, she's a Barnsley now. Bit sketchy with lorries and HGVs and stuff, but yeah, other than that, got to Hornsey fine, and then jumped on the end of the TPT, so completed it, mate. Got to the end of the TPT where it finishes in Hornsey, and then ran back as if I'm going back to Barnsley, towards Hull for, I think it was like 7 mile on the trail. But this side of the TPT is flat, but it holds a lot of water and is very, very muddy in places. So my shoes, I had some carbon shoes on today, my Vaporflies. My shoes weren't acking it whatsoever, so there were points where I was slipping and sliding, and dicing with, not death, but dicing with falling. But yeah, it was a nice little run. I did want to try and push it a little bit to split my run up, so I said to myself, whilst I'm on the trail, I'll try and boot it and just see where I end up, and then whilst I'm not on the trail and on the roads, I'll just jog. And it worked out quite well, so it was like 6.5 mile of me getting to the trail and like jogging to the trail, warming up, and that were about 6:40 pace. And then when I got onto the trail, booted it a little bit, did my first couple of mile like sub 6 minute miles, so it was like 5:55 pace, and then I weren't breathing whatsoever. I'm not talking about it, no, definitely not. And then slowed down a little bit, and I think I averaged about 6:05, 6:10 or something for 7 mile, which ain't bad, to say that I'm feeling absolutely on top of the world. But it's marathon training, so the last 6.5 mile back up from, well, it's on the, if anyone's ever done East Hull 20, you turn round really in like Long Wrist and Arnold, so I did the back end of the first half ish, or whatever you want to call it, of East Hull 20, which is no more due to footpath closures, road closures, council restrictions and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, enjoyed it. 20 mile, glorious weather, quite warm, a little bit breezy in parts, but yeah, perfect. What did I say, 35 days out from London, so looking forward to it, to be honest. Like, just to get out and have a crack at a marathon. I did sample this morning on my run some gels, so historically, so I've done a lot of marathons, and I used to use sherbet lemons. So my marathon PB 2:25, I actually did the full marathon with the same sherbet lemon, so it was a Jakeman's onion lemon, in my mouth, like the same one. So I put it in on the start line, and kept it for the full duration of the race, and I'm prouder of that than I am my actual marathon PB, because that's pretty cool, and it shows that I've got an absolute strong mindset to keep the same one and not actually bite it, or chomp it or spit it out or anything like that. Kept its flavour as well, but yeah, proud of that. But this morning tried some Science in Sport gels, which then Beta Fuel, if anyone's seen them. They were quite nice, but they're a bit thick and a bit sickly, so yeah, I'll either persevere with them, or previously when I did Berlin and York, well, it was York last year, I did some Morton gels, which are these cool things that Kipchoge runs with, that have got some real good branding, but they do taste quite nice actually. But the more they are thicker, and it's what I imagine air gel products to taste like. But yeah, I've got them, and they're getting delivered. Well, they got delivered yesterday and left at home, so when we get home they should be on the doorstep, hopefully not soaking wet through. But yeah, stomach held up quite well, but they were a little bit sickly today, so I have got some more, so I'll stick with them and just see what they're like, so I can get my body used to actually fueling at speed, and holding it, so I don't throw up, or the worst. But yeah, it's marathon training, and you got to get your body accustomed to that sort of stuff, and dealing with it. And it's same for example, drinking is a big thing. So drinking whilst you're running, there's some people I know that'll refuse water at drink stations, but I've done it in sessions and straight away it's gone through me and I need a wee. But it's an important part of your training that you need to look at, the holistic view of what am I going to do on race day, the whole picture, and can my body handle having water and fluid thrown at it. Same as chafing, nipple rub, wearing the right vest, wearing the right shoes, and the kit and all that sort of stuff. But I have before put brand new shoes on race day, and when I did run my 225 in 2019, it was a pair of brand new bright pink Vaporflies that I'd not worn prior to that at all. Same with socks as well, can't beat a new sock. But I wouldn't recommend people to choose to do that. It's just that what I prefer to do for me personally. But yeah, definitely vests, shorts, anything that's going to rub, be mindful of it, don't risk it, it's not worth the gamble. They're expensive races, aren't they? So yeah, you don't want to get it wrong down to something that's quite simple. And same with your gels, your fueling, your splits, getting your body used to running at marathon pace, all that stuff. It's more than just running one foot in front of the other at times, even though I absolutely love the fact that running can be a simple sport, and it is just about putting the foot in front of the other faster than the person next to you at times. And that's the beauty of running. And sometimes you can take the competition out of it and put your foot in front of the other and just keep moving and just keep running. And I absolutely love that saying, and it's one that I definitely live and abide by. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you on the other side, and it'll be 28 days to go to London next week, so exactly a month, where we'll be further down the line and coming into the definite business part of training. Cheers for listening, guys.